David Katz. David was an instructor at the DEA FBI Academy in Quantico, Virginia, where he actually, I think we got the wrong guy. Can we switch and get the right guy up? There's David Katz, where he taught firearms and tactics to thousands of federal agents, state and local police officers, SWAT teams, and specialized military units. He is a corporate security expert and is particularly well known for his active shooter prevention and response programs. David is also the author of Executive's Guide to Personal Security. Also with us now, bring him back, former police officer Joe Ested. Joe is also a former sheriff's deputy and police investigator. He has served in Afghanistan as a police advisor and is the author of the book Police Brutality Matters and the host of the Police Brutality Matters show on YouTube. All right, gentlemen, thank you both for being with me tonight. Sorry about that little mix-up, but we got it straightened out. Our first story tonight comes to us from the Riverside County Sheriff's Office in California, where officers take down a wanted murder suspect. Take a look.
Bust it, buddy! Get him on, get him! Get up! Bust!
He's hitting the dog.
He stabbed the dog, you're gonna get shot, dude. Bust! Good boy, bust it!
Hit him.
Come on, come here.
Go.
Bust! Bust him! Bust him! There you go. Come on up, Ron!
Still refusing to come out. He's in position of a bamboo stick that's about a foot long. Multiple 40 deployments, closing the door and pulling the dog off for now. Bang, bang, bang.
Get on the inside of the car, keep your hands up, step out. Don't you think we're going to get more intense? Keep your hands up and step out of the car right now.
You got a second to throw that one back.
Step out of the car, get in right now. Start crawling over to the driver's side. Open the door, keep your hands up. Don't
you guys
get your hands all the way out.
Open the door! Let me see your other hand!
Driver's door open.
Step on out, man!
Roll up, get it all the way up.
You gotta step out! He's reaching for something. Okay, come on out. I see your hand. There you go. Stop right there.
His whole body is out of the car. He's laying face down.
Can you go on top
driver's
of the
side.
rocks right next to your right side?
All right, everything worked out fine, and our question for our law enforcement experts after watching that is, how tense are these takedowns? All right, let me start off with you. David, tell me, what I saw there, the use of the dog was pretty interesting, and then there were these explosions. Explain to me how tense these situations are.
Obviously they know he's a murder suspect. They obviously thought he might be armed. I could pick some time. You have too many guns pointed at the guy. Someone in the, you can see the guy up on the truck. I don't want to be too picky. And what really bothers me, though, I hate when they put the dog in harm's way. Dogs are great. They're law enforcement. They're military's best friend. But once they saw that dog was getting prodded or poked or stabbed by that stick, now it's time to go to Plan B.
Joe, I want to get your take on that situation. Just how tense are they, and just your assessment of how it was handled.
Yeah, it's tense, but this requires a lot of training. So these guys should be used to this. This is a tactical team. I like the fact that they didn't just rush in like we've seen time and time again. Officers always want to utilize time. They want to utilize space. So I like the fact that when they had one option failed the dog, they went to another option. They went to the beanbags. So I like the tactics. I like the way they took their time. You had one officer giving commands. You didn't have a bunch of officers yelling like we've seen in the past. When you start looking at officer actions and how consistent they are with training, these guys was on with the few minor errors that Dave described. All in all, everybody get to see another day. So this was a good tactics. This was a good job for everybody.
David, Joe's answer raises a couple of questions that I have when I'm watching it. As he said, sometimes you see folks rush in. In this particular one, there was time, there was space. So how does that play into these situations? How much time, how long is too long, and how much space is too much space?
There's no time limit here, and there was no exigent circumstance. They could have let this go as long as they needed to. So I agree with Joe. Time in this case works for the officer, not against. You don't want to go up and send an officer in to try to go hands on when you don't have to. He could have had a weapon. It could have turned out badly. The way as it turned out, they were patient. They were able to use. I mean, you have so many other. You have tasers. You have chemical munitions. You have 40 millimeter kinetic impact projectiles. You have 12 gauge beanbags. You have so many things you could use. But right now, in that particular case, their best friend was just take a little bit of patience.
Yeah, and I think as we saw, it worked out well for everyone there. All right, moving on. Our last story tonight comes to us from the Chicago Police Department, where police are searching for homicide suspects. All right, and the question we have after watching this is, how can you identify these individuals? All right, Joe, let me start with you. I mean, you have the camera, you have the videos, you have the neighborhood. Shouldn't be terribly difficult.
No, I think they have enough to put the pieces together. Like you said, we have the camera, and you got a good look at them. You got 3 subjects. They are armed with firearms. So 9 times out of 10, when you got that many subjects and all of them are armed, that location's a pretty hot location. So you see the direction of travel that these suspects ran at. I would backpedal to see if I have any additional cameras from anybody's homes on that particular block. I would use the media, and I would put a lot of pressure on that neighborhood to actually get some more information. So I think these guys will get apprehended because you got a good picture, so you could do some face recognition. So I think this is going to be a good one to solve.
Yeah, you know, David, what's interesting is when I look at these and from my experience in sort of the criminal justice world, is a lot of these crimes, they're committed close to home. I imagine these guys don't live far. They're on foot. I don't know if they were running to a car or anything, but your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Joe's exactly right. They're gonna retrace their steps, and there's going to be a point in time when they're on a camera without their masks on, so they get a good ID. And I would posit this. This was a coordinated attack. So the intended victim or the people on the street know who the beef was with. They have these people identified already. There's no doubt in my mind. So just a matter of time.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there. There's some pretty high caliber weapons there, it looked like, as well. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Joe Ested and David Katz, really appreciate it. Sorry time was short, but to have you on again soon for all your expertise. All right, folks, it is time now for a break. But when we come back, we're going to have a photo to show you of a child who isn't home tonight and should be. We'll be asking for your help to find him when we come back. So keep it right here on Court TV.